quiet, please. Oh my God, shh. Film's about to start.
Hello world, welcome to Drew's Reviews, and today's film will be discussing The Phoenician Scheme, a stylized espionage drama from director Wes Anderson, blending quirky humor with a dark, emotional core. You ready for this?
Hold on to your butts.
Because I certainly wasn't. I'm not gonna say that I'm the biggest fan of Wes Anderson. I've liked some of his films, obviously the most famous one being The Grand Budapest Hotel. I wasn't the biggest fan of that one, but I still enjoyed it regardless. And then The French Dispatch, which came out a couple years ago, I liked that one. It wasn't the greatest thing ever. Island of Dogs was good. And then Asteroid City, it was okay. It wasn't that great. I was pretty medium on that one. The one that I enjoyed the most from him was Fantastic Mr. Fox. But this film started off so great, but as it went on, it just started getting boring the more the story progressed, if I can say progressed, because if anything, it felt like it degressed. Boring! As it went on, I just got less and less interested. And unfortunately, it's starting to feel like Wes Anderson, as great of a director as he's been, is just falling into his own cliche. This movie felt like somebody wanted to make a Wes Anderson movie, so they made this one. But by the end of it, I just didn't care. I didn't care about pretty much anything. I got it and I wanted to care. It was an interesting story in there. I liked the characters, but it was just the movie that the characters were in was moving so slow and felt like it was just going nowhere, even though it was going somewhere. But by the time it got to the climax, again, I just didn't care, which is so unfortunate because the acting in this film was so well done. That's the thing about pacing. For example, Oppenheimer. That movie is 3 hours. Now, I felt that 3-hour movie was well paced. I was interested in the storyline, and yes, it's a lot of talking, so the dialogue carried as well. Wonderful directing, everything. That movie felt like 2 hours instead of 3, whereas this film is an hour 45, and it felt like we were there for more than 3 hours. I looked at my watch at one point because I was wondering how much time has gone by and we're still in this same situation. And I know it sounds like I'm dogging on this movie right now.
Yep.
I'm really not. It's just that was my experience throughout. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Wes Anderson fan, but I still enjoy his films. So when I saw the trailers for this, I was very intrigued. It looked funny and seemed like there was a story there, and that's mainly why I wanted to go see it.
Things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
But it really just let me down with the pacing and the direction. It just didn't work this time. But to get more in the parts that I did enjoy, like I had mentioned, I did enjoy the acting. I thought all the performances were really well done, and that's just speaking more into how the comedy was. Wes Anderson is really good at doing comedy and setting those situations up. The film was funnier than I thought it was going to be. I did laugh sometimes, not a big laugh, but just like a chuckle. The satire, the dry humor of it, that was very well done.
I recognize this assassin.
Come now.
Suicide pedal.
Where's my father? Take this miserable sinner into the company.
And the cinematography, Bruno Del Bano, I'm pretty sure that this is his first feature with Wes Anderson, and he did a great job. In my opinion, I'm starting to think that Wes Anderson might have OCD, just because in every film that I've seen by him, everything is in frame. Everything is like this pocket and everything is neatly placed. Even a plane wreck, even though everything is all over the place, but it's still neatly placed. I do really like that aspect of Wes Anderson's films. Just how he sets up the frame is so beautiful to me. Also, this had a really big cast. The majority of them weren't even in the entirety of the movie. They just had little parts here and there. I'll start with Mia Threppleton.
You want some,
I'll just put it behind me right now. Thank you, Drew, the editor. Anyway, she was great in the film. I thought she did a wonderful job. Very funny. Her performance I enjoyed a lot. And Michael Cera was a great addition to this film. I enjoyed his performance as well. Benedict Cumberbatch, I thought he did a great job. He's a really funny actor. I love seeing him show up in different films. Can't wait to see him in this film called The Roses. That film looks really funny. Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston, their part I really did enjoy a lot. I thought that part was really funny. And then I'm not gonna forget to mention Jeffrey Wright, just to throw him in there. Love to see him pop up in Wes Anderson films. He's always great. And then of course Scarlett Johansson was wonderful. But Benicio del Toro, even in a film that's mid like this one, that still didn't hold him back. He's such a great actor, and this guy can take pretty much any role and just enhance it. Really enjoyed his performance. Unfortunately, it just couldn't be a really good performance in a really well done film. Regardless, he was great. Frankly, the entire cast was great, even in the small parts that they had. I enjoyed all the performances, and the film isn't terrible, but it's just so slow with the pacing, and I just wish it got to the point quicker. I really wanted to like this film, but man, after getting out of it, I felt so exhausted. And had to look up how long the film was. That couldn't have been 2.5 hours. But man, when your movie has pacing issues, I can just feel it every time. So with that being said, I'm gonna give the Phoenician Scheme a 6 out of 10. It's not the worst movie, obviously, that I've seen this year. Hopefully other people enjoyed this more than I did, and hopefully you enjoy this more than I did. But I can't really recommend this film.
I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
But if you're into Wes Anderson films, then maybe go check it out, and maybe it'll hit you in a different way than it hit me. But at the end of the day, for me, it's gonna be a very forgettable experience.
Well, use the forget-me stick. Oh, right.
Thank you for tuning in to my review of the Phoenician Scheme. Please like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what's your favorite Wes Anderson film. I would love to hear your thoughts. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.